Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some more Rome 2 Siege action. We got a 3v3 for you here. This one is one of my own, and I am very disappointed in the landscape that is multiplayer Rome 2 Online. Oh, yeah. You can see there, we got some Scorpion Towers. And then you'll also see later on, whether I point it out or we get to the final screen tallying the kills, what one of the two Athens has brought. This has been a trend that's been going on, I feel like, I I don't know how long it's been going on for, because I took a break from Rome 2 for a while, which I do regret. Um, But it just seems like there is no civility anymore in the public online multiplayer scene for this game. Unless, of course, that is you are going into a match with friends, playing against friends, and you're all in a Discord server together, and you can all talk to each other and agree upon what is going to be brought and this, that, or the other. So yeah, it's sad. I mean, we can see the numerous pieces of wall artillery on the walls here. It's supposed to be just one, unless there was like a general consensus of a rules change where it was okay to bring two now. But yeah, I don't know. It's sad. But anyway, so much so that I will point out that Sparta here, we were using the paintbrush to talk and stuff, and I pointed out that they had Scorpion towers, and somebody complained, and then I saw somebody right here like, I'm leaving, basically, and it was Sparta. Sparta left the game. So, it's content, right? It's content. It's sad content, but it's content. All right. So we'll start with the defenders. We have that's Simpsons TikTok. We have playing as Athens, no soul Ginger, playing as Athens, Micah Gee, and then playing as Macromani, Honorio. Can anyone tell me what is wrong with that lineup? Anybody? Macromani isn't part of the grand campaign. So there's that. Attacking, we have myself playing as Carthage, Skunky Nuglets playing as Sparta, and Sleepyhead playing as Rome. I have brought two late Carthaginian hoplites. I have two mercenary Samnite warriors, four mercenary Scutari, four mercenary Gallic warriors, two mercenary noble fighters, three mercenary Cretans, Libyan peltasts, a general's bodyguard, and two Iberian swords. So far back. Sparta has brought some Royal Spartans. We have Periclei spears, Hella archers, probably some Cretans as well. Spartan pikemen, Royal Spartans there. Big old ballista. I also have brought a big ballista. Spartan Utes, two Utes, and then more Royal Spartans. Rome is bringing, I believe it's just a bunch of armored legionaries for the most part. This legionary cohort right there. And then back here we have Avocati, yep, just a bunch of Avocati. And then, of course, yeah, I didn't even realize he brought an Onager. And then we have three Syrians. And then, okay, never mind. We have four Syrians, auxiliary Syrian archers. Is he playing as a different Rome? And I'm just not seeing it, or he glitched these in. I was about to say glick. All right, 25 minutes 43 seconds on the clock. So these guys are moving around because somebody had hit start before we were all set and ready to go. Somebody did, or at least before I was ready to go. And then these guys were moving around. Put this over here just because I wanted to maybe. It was very highly unlikely that I was ever going to come all the way over here with this. It would have taken a dog's age. But I have these siege towers here just to protect from the artillery right here. And these are pointed this way because I thought, well, I have the tortoises. I don't really need to use the artillery to knock down a section of wall. The tortoises will do that for me. So what I did decide to do was I saved the artillery for taking shots at whatever type of infantry ends up popping up here. Now, it wasn't until my tortoises got up to... Actually, let's fast forward this just to move this along a little bit more. It wasn't until I got the tortoises up here that I realized that, wait a second, like, it kind of feels like that my guys have gotten kind of, like, dwindled down a bit. What's going on here? And then I saw it was the Scorpion Tower. I said it before in a previous replay that I did. You're cheapening your victory, in my opinion, at least. Are they historically accurate? Yeah, probably. I'm sure that they had Scorpion Towers. But it is a super, super unfair advantage to be using Scorpion Towers. Because for the time that it takes for units to get all the way up here, I mean, I'm down to 123. If it was an arrow tower, that would not be the case. Anyway, Sparta over here has managed to work their way in, charging headlong into some dramatic swords with their Spartan Utes. Not going to have a very good time, especially against the Thorax Swordsmen here that are moving on in, but at least they're neutralizing this tower here, which is going to help out quite a bit. How long will it remain neutralized? Who knows? Who knows? So, charging in. Rome's coming in over here. Completely... I didn't even realize this because I was so focused when I was playing. But he's coming over here. He's going to knock down... Oh, okay. I was like, what is going on here? But it's Athens over here firing. Right on in. Getting some nice shots here, too. So, can't really blame him. But Rome's coming over here. He's going to knock these walls down. And he's going to crush his Spartan allies. So, Rome may be a newer player. Possibly. Who knows? I'm still making my way up here while my Scutari, or Gallic warriors rather, are getting, and Scutari are getting shredded because it's like a Scorpion Tower. Jeez, like, come on. So, there goes part of the wall. It's 107 men there. What are we at? Gone. Down to 66. And he got some of these guys too, which is good. At least you got some of the Germanic swordsmen. But yeah, these Spartan youths are done for. Germanic swordsmen are going to charge on in, break them completely, and that's going to be the end of these guys. Where's their flag at? It's interesting. Have I started to fire yet? I have not. Starting to knock the walls down here. Now, what I had planned on doing, because obviously Rome had all these tortoises too, and I didn't know what was viable. I didn't want to attack over here. I set up over here because this is usually where everyone attacks. Both Rome and Sparta came over here, and I kind of ended up being forced to join them because I wasn't going to attack alone. I could have done a delayed attack, but whether or not that would have worked, I don't know. I'm starting to believe that it would not have worked based on what we end up facing. But after deciding to come over here, my strategy was to get the hoplites up here as quickly as possible and plop them down here and hold this with the hoplites while also neutralizing the tower, and then just working on this section here along with Rome to make our way. It kind of went to plan. Not entirely, though. So yeah, now my Gallic warrior, like, it just down to 60 guys in the first, not even 5 minutes of the game. And it's only because of the Scorpion Tower, too. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So now I'm moving up my forces, getting them, at least these guys, a little bit closer. In retrospect, I should have been moving them up sooner. It was just, I was so afraid of getting too close to the Scorpion Tower because I did not want to lose any more men to it. So meanwhile, you can see I'm firing over here. Actually, as they're walking towards here, I changed, yep, right to this. And let's see if anything hits. Right on there. Nice. That number drops pretty significantly, so that's good. I managed to get some kills out of that. And on Berserkers, too, so that's nice. She's a 160-man unit of Berserkers. That is absolutely ludicrous. So... Does Athen get... do they get those? Does Athen get... do they get Armored Legionaries? So I'm telling you right now, his entire build is, I think, some Thurio Spears, Thorax Swordsmen, and glitched-in Armored Legionaries. If that's the case, just play as Rome. Why are you playing as Athens and augmenting your loadout with Armored Legionaries, when Athens is more primarily of a defensive faction with pretty good hoplite units? Oof, nice. Yeah, my Ballista did a number on some of his troops here because he had them bunched up so much. So yeah, now you can see all the Sparta's units are moving in. He has quit the game, and it, you know, at this point, like, I was just like, this is not gonna go our way, I don't think. I just saw the writing. I was like, well, we're probably going to lose, but maybe we can do something here. And to Rome's credit, too, like, we held the line here for quite a while, and we did a pretty good job of roughing them up here, but it just was not enough. You know, he got his Pericles Spears over here before he even quit. They're just here absorbing ammo, tossing their jabbies up here, over here, but really, they're all going... These guys are facing the wrong way, first of all, and these guys are tossing their spears up. One of the first things that me, personally, I always do before the match officially starts is, you know, archers and artillery, fire at will gets turned off, but also all of the infantry who have jabbies. Their fire will gets turned off until I want them to use it. Admittedly, sometimes I forget to turn it back on. But, yeah. So now, got the Gallic Warriors in here. 158. Trying, I think I tried to exploit a little gap here, but it wasn't really much of one. But you can see the Armored Dramatic Swords are not doing that well. Thorax Swordsmen aren't doing too good. We're just kind of holding the line here, especially with his, the pikes are already in here, which is hilarious. I didn't even realize that. That's probably one of the main reasons why we're doing so well over here. But yeah, it's just... it's a thing. It's stuff that happened. It's just, it makes me sad that this is what, like, the multiplayer landscape has, like, turned into, is just people doing whatever the hell they want. It's incredibly frustrating. Can I get an artillery shot coming in? Because that would be... here we go. That would be pretty damn sweet. Boop. Oh, no, wait. Pause. Look at it. It's like he got stabbed through the throat. Alright, let's try and change that. How can we change this? You know what? We'll do this. This is a pretty good battle line right here. That's it. That's the shot. Not bad. Okay. Back to business. So, a lot of the major fighting, I feel, happens here. I mean, there's some fighting here as well. But again, Thorax Swords and Armored Legionaries, it's just... very frustrating. And Rome is also just not committing enough. Like, really, and realistically, like, this too. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. What is he firing into? Where are most of these shots going? Like, yeah, they're passing through, but a lot of them are hitting here. He should have set up his archers over here, okay? This is neutralized, or it's not neutralized, so he's getting shot regardless. But set the archers up over here. Fire into the backs of these thorax swordsmen and armored legionaries to try and get them out. Or even, hell, just angle them a little bit. Like, bring them over here somewhat. But there we go. Perfect. Moving in. That's what he should have been doing a long time ago. Bringing them and coming right in. Where are you going? Okay. Get in there a little bit quicker, please. Please. Charge right on in. Down to 153 men because of the stupid Scorpion towers. Meanwhile, over here, it's just a slog. It is an absolute, like, knockdown, drag-out fight. We're trying to do what we can here to try and break through. We're doing an alright job, but now they're bringing up reserves. We have Berserkers, Armored Germanic Swords, Thorax Swordsmen. I charge these guys, not into the back of the Thorio Spears, but back, and I turn them around, because I can't push them forward, because then I'm going to expose them to their flanks and the rears, and then, yeah, then they do this. Like, what are you doing here? I really hope Creative Assembly makes a new engine. I really, really, really hope that they make a new engine. Because it's spaghetti code, and the pathfinding's terrible, but it is what it is. So yeah, we just have a slog of a fight going on over here. Archers are firing, shooting at some of the Thorio Spears over here, shooting at the Berserkers over here, trying to get especially the Berserkers. I have two guys firing at the Berserkers because I want to get them out of here as quickly as possible. I noticed that these Thorio Spears, it appeared, are making their way down here, so I charge in a unit of the Mercenary Noble Fighters to get to charge them into the rear to try and get these guys out of here as quickly as I possibly can. And then still, it's just kind of a slog over here. These mercenary Gallic warriors end up kind of becoming sort of crucial in helping with Rome and Sparta get rid of these units here. They just kind of keep moving from one to the next as the match progresses. And then, you know, at this point, like, I'm feeling kind of good, kind of hopeful. Like, I still have some reserves, and it feels like we're making some headway. Even though over here, like, it's kind of like we're really, like, fighting over here, but it seems like that we're winning. And then over here, they still have just more armored legionaries, and their generals, of course, as well. Rhodian slingers, Cretan archers. I'm surprised they didn't bring, you know, I don't know, something ridiculous. Okay. Rome has moved up his onager. Honestly, he should be getting his onager in there more because he has a battle. He has a nice line here. Sparta's coming over here to neutralize this. He should have had this in here, right here, and just like chipping away. I mean, these guys still, well, that is a problem, I guess. Or even really honestly bringing it over here and firing into this right here. This would have been a prime target to go after. You could have probably targeted this and still would have hit some of these guys. But yeah, I mean, Sparta's doing what they can. It's at this point, it's the AI trying to fight. Thorax Swordsman exploiting a gap here. Can't even be mad about it. Which way is he standing? Trying to figure out if he's going to throw javies or if he's just going to pass on through. But now I'm getting some guys in. Mercenary Iberian swords are in. They're going to start throwing javelins. Yeah, especially these guys. Like, I'm just trying to whittle down whatever reinforcements come up so that my guys are going to have an easier time. Because they're already starting to get tired. They're already, yeah, see, active. Hoplites definitely are starting to get very tired. Losing. Swinging these Samnite warriors back around to try and get over here to slow these guys down. And then I noticed this. What the hell's going on? Oh my god. Somebody has a working brain cell. And he's turned his ballista around and is now firing into my lines here. Again, I can't blame him for this. Like, brilliant. Annoying, but brilliant. You know? So then, yeah, I get the 86 men left of this mercenary Skitarii unit, and I tell them, go and get this, like, rush. And they're like, okay, we're gonna walk. Is that all right? No, we're gonna turn around. I'm just like, go, please, get over there and silence this damn thing, for Christ's sake. And then this is like the end. I mean, you know, Sparta's going off on their own because it's the AI. Rome still has some, you know, units here that it could do something with, but at this point it just almost feels like he's walking into a trap. Because he doesn't really have a lot left here. He's 3 units. There's nothing else outside except for his general. And some of the units over here, which are severely beat up. I mean, this is rough. Athens can be a tough nut to crack, but I mean, that's also like one of the reasons why nobody attacks over here. There's not enough real estate for everyone to attack. And attacking over here is foolish because you're just boxing yourself in. You knock the walls down over here, that's all well and good, but then you have to fight to get out. You know, you have to push this way to get out. So it's, again, what you see here, it's just this and this that is really viable. And maybe even a little bit of this for attacking. But then it's all choke points. So attacking over here, in my opinion at least, is not the best of ideas. It's always going to be over here. This is always going to be the best spot because you have wide open areas here. You have a better chance of pushing through here. This is a little bit of a slog. If you can make it, though, then that's great. And then you got this over here where you set up a ballista or tortoises over here, and you don't even have to set the tortoises up facing in that direction. You can have the tortoises facing like this, and then just immediately turn them around and go over here. I remember years ago I did that. I did that to an opponent. It was a 3v3 on Athens, and I did just that. And only because I noticed that they had deployables. It was like sharp stone beds and like other things, like all in the past that I would be taking to make my way to the town center and like get into the fight. And I said, screw that. I'm not doing that. Like, why am I going to subject my troops to running over, you know, hidden spike beds and sharp stone beds and walls and whatever? So I moved my tortoises or whatever I had over here. And the guy who had, like, chosen to go up against me started, like, cursing me out. He got so mad. He was yelling. He was like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, you're not playing right. You're not doing it right. And I said, what are you talking about, man? Like, I see you have all those deployables there. Like, I'm making a tactical call and not assaulting the walls there so I get slogged down by your deployables. Which, by the way, is kind of like a no-no. It's very, not uncalled for. It's something that's not done. You shouldn't bring deployables in. At most, I would only say sharpstone beds, because those are like the least invasive. They just slow you down a bit. But the wooden palisades, the spike pits, caltrops, embedded like spikes and stuff, yeah, those aren't great. So this is the state of the battle. Rome is surrounded, because he kind of walked into a trap, sort of, but not entirely. Sparta has checked out early into the game, so now it's just the AI doing what they can, and not doing great. I mean, they're all losing against this one unit of armored Germanic swords, and then my poor mercenary Gallic warriors over here trying to help out as best as they can. And so then, yeah, I'm just, at this point, I see the writing on the wall. I know it's over. So now I'm just trying to do what I can to rack up kills Noble fighters over here. Had them posted up, tossing their javies into the hoplite unit here to try and soften them up a little bit. And then I charged them in to do some damage, backed up by the Libyan peltists, who got a little bit too close, as you can see, because they have 0 kills. At some point, I start actually using them, though, right? Did they? That's weird. I thought I used them earlier in the battle, but I guess not. But then they brought up some, picked hoplites. Super strong unit. Really, really good. And again, like, I know what's going to happen. I know it's coming. I know that this match is over. And there's only 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. So yeah. Scorpion towers, glitched in units, and way too many artillery pieces on the wall. Again, unless that rule has changed. But it's just... I mean, I played a match the other night, too, where we were playing on Bertigala, and it was against Epirus, and I forget who else. And again, they just had a bunch of glitched-in units, and I was like, what the hell? Like, if you don't want to... I think Epirus glitched in... I forget what he glitched in, but I just remember, like, I was mad. And I ended up quitting the match because I was just like, this is pointless. Like, don't glitch in units to try and make an army better. Like, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Like, you got to try and figure out, like, what's what. You have to try and figure out what works best for you. Some factions are better on defense than they are attack. Sparta is a perfect example of this. I have seen Sparta do well on attack, but me personally, if I had to play as Sparta, I would never, ever pick them for attack. Same with, like, Macedon. Macedon's, in my opinion, a better defending faction. They get some really good shield units, and they only get thorax swords and pick peltists, and that's it. They get the mercenary unit, the mercenary Thracians, I believe. And then they just have really good cav and pike units. Athens, really good defensive faction. Rome, good all around. Nabatea, good defensive faction because they have excellent spear units. You know, it's like you gotta pick and choose, but like you also have to be aware of what your opponents are picking and understand what is needed, you know, to counter. You know, because like most of the time, like you see somebody pick Rome, 9 times out of 10, somebody on the other team is going to pick Kush because that's what you counter Rome with. Everyone knows that. Kush has the AP value to counter Rome's heavily armored troops. You know, like somebody picks Parthia, you can expect them to bring a lot of cav. So you could play as Pergamon. Pergamon gets the game of spears. They're really good. They can get into square formation. Or you could do even Arverni. Arverni has some pretty good spears. It's an ebb and flow of army, of faction choice. You know, you got to weigh the pros and cons of everybody, and also the pros and cons of what your opponents are picking, and trying to figure out what is best going to be, what is the best faction to utilize in that scenario. You know? Carthage, I thought, would have been good, especially how I had upgraded everybody. But I forgot to bring Libyan infantry. If I had brought some Libyan infantry, maybe things might have been well, no, let's be honest. Nothing would have changed. We still would have lost. But maybe I would have been able to dish it out a little bit better than if I hadn't. But anyway. So we'll start with me. I got 1,850 kills, 0 for my general, 144 for the ballista, 82 for the peltists, 55, 61, and 113 for the archers, 32 and 83 for the hoplites, 11, 22, 103, and 1... oh, I only got 3. I thought about 4 for the Gallic warriors. 122 and 63 for the Iberian swords. 122 is actually really good. 232 and 234 for the noble fighters. Sam Knights, 105 and 151. And then the Scutari, 15, 129, and 93. Skunky Nuggets, who left early, 1,617. No shade to you, my friend. I don't blame you for leaving early, especially because they glitched in units as well. So sad. Rural Spartans, 94, 107, 133 for the Pikes, 85, 153, 108, 75, 97, 90, 111 for the other Rural Spartans, 37, 12, 23 for the Periclay Spears, 15 and 1 for the Spartan Use, 132, 96, 96, and 52 for the Archers, 37 for the Ballista. Sleepyhead, 1,274, 45 for his General, 65 for the Onager. These Onagers, by the way, are super expensive, which is why the Onagers, the Ballistas, and the super big Onagers are stupid expensive compared to a stationary Ballista. So, think about that next time, maybe. Especially if you're not going to utilize this as much. 56, 33, 25, and 51 for the auxiliary Syrian archers. Or maybe they do get, but they can only get 3. But they're not called mercenaries. I think that's it. Okay. Anyway. Armor Legionaries, 115, 58, 15, 0. Evocati, 18, 62, 81, 48, 83, 91. And then Legionary Cohort, 139, 123. 107 and 59. No Soul Ginger, 1,446, 24 for the general, 247, 63, 99, 156 for the ranged units there. 10, 1, 21, 43 for the hoplites, 30 and 132 for the picked hoplites. 95, 42, 18, 60, and 78 for the thorax swords, and then 25, 68, 97, and 137. Not bad, actually, for that one. For the Thorio spears. And then Micah Gee, you cheater. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Don't play as Athens, dude, if you don't want to use any of their units. Play as Rome if you want to use armored legionaries. That's what I have to say to you, brother. Thorax hoplites, 0, 124, 158, 74, and 144 for the ranged units. 156, 146, 67, 0, 167, 128, 121, 105 for the glitched in cheat units. 48, 64, 95 for the thorax swords. And 105, 44, and 14 for the Thorio spears. And then, son of a bitch. 2,374 for this cheater. 0 for the general, 97, 79, 62, 43 for the archers, 77, 136, 221, 196, 143, 112, 213, 94, and 90 for the armored Germanic swords. And then 275, 229, 210, 0, and 11 for the berserkers. And then Germanic swordsmen, 86. Look, the reason why people bring in these factions is because they believe that these troops are better than Grand Campaign troops. I personally don't think there really is that much of a difference. I mean, it comes down to the stats, right? Like, are the stats actually better than Grand Campaign units, or are they similar? And I think that they're similar. They might have a little bit of an edge, but I really don't think that these are necessarily any better. But I mean, like a 160-man unit of berserkers, when I don't believe that that is as it comes in Grand Campaign, that's pretty ridiculous. But that's it for me. Just very sad about the state the multiplayer state of the game. But what are you going to do? Just got to keep on keeping on. You know what I mean, man? You know what I mean? It's not to say that I don't have actual like good matches where, you know, people are playing with the faction that they want to play with, and it's not Scorpion Towers. So, I mean, if you get on and play, you know, don't get discouraged. Even if you're losing. Like, granted, I quit games occasionally, especially when it's just like, oh, this is pointless. They're glitching in units, but I don't know. Sometimes you got to stick it out because you can learn from your mistakes, which is always important. And yeah, I just want you guys to be better Rome 2 players. So as bad as it may get, you should stick it out and try and do what you can. So that's it. Have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are while you're watching. Just have a good one. Peace out, guys.